Good morning, students. Now, today we'll start the process of oogenesis, means formation of egg. Clear? Now, first thing, in case of females, the gamete mother cell or the oogonia, they are start forming at the embryonic stage. Beta. Clear? Then, this oogonia will undergo prophase 1, means meiotic division started, meiosis started, and at prophase 1 in the embryonic stage, they will remain at rest for some time and we call it primary oocyte. Clear? Then afterward this primary oocyte form one layer of cells around it. Clear? उसके बाहर एक cells की layer बन जाएगी. Now we call it primary follicle, right? And this layer is of granulosa cells. ये जो cells की layer we call it granulosa cells. And now it is called primary follicle. This primary follicle further secretes more layer of cells around it or layer of cells बनेंगी बेटा. And now we call it secondary follicle. Afterwards the cells will arrange and one fluid filled cavity is formed. ये अंदर एक फ्लूइड की भरी कैविटी बन जाएगी, right? Fluid filled cavity is formed and it is called antrum. This fluid filled cavity is called antrum and now this follicle is called tertiary follicle. Clear? Now in this case, thus afterwards means when it starts growing, the cells which are formed around it, they will arrange in two layers. It is called thicca interna and thicca externa, means outer layer is called thicca externa and the inner layer is called thicca interna. Now here the primary oocyte, this is lying there. Clear? जो मेन सेल है, ये तो बाहर लेयर्स है ना, जो मेन जर्म सेल है प्राइमरी oocyte, now it will grow and complete its first mitotic division. Means इसका जो first meiosis part है that is completed. Now इसमें क्या होगा, I just want to show you. Suppose this cell divide and it forms the two cells. You know in meiosis when first mitotic division is completed, then two cells are formed. So because first mitotic division completed, clear? So you can find that these two cells are formed, unequal cells. One small cell is formed, other large cell is formed. I am showing about only this cell, कि how this cell is divided. ये जो अंदर बेटे पड़ा था, ठीक है? This polar body will degenerate later on, and this secondary oocyte which is formed here, now it will be here. You can see in it. Clear? This is now secondary oocyte and polar body. Now this secondary oocyte form one more layer. Clear? It is called zona pellucida, right? And now it is called Graafian follicle. Clear? What we call this stage, Graafian follicle, in which you will have now egg with haploid. Clear? And afterwards the outer layers of the Graafian follicle will rupture and now this egg is ready to come out of the ovary and we call it ovulation, right? Afterwards, next topic is menstruation. Now what is menstrual cycle or menstruation? There are certain terms. Firstly, we want to know. It started at the age of 12 to 13 years, or we can say it puberty, right? And we call it menarche. Then after, when all the eggs will mature and released by the ovary, that is called menopause. Clear? It is almost ended at the age of 50. Clear, beta? Now there are different stages in the menstruation. Clear? Means that period. Now menstruation, it ends from means first 5 days. Now what is the changes during the menstrual means first 5 days of the menstruation? It starts with first day of bleeding. Clear? Then afterwards 3 to 5 days the bleeding continues. Now what is happening during that? The endometrium, I have shown you in the uterus, the inner lining of the uterus, that is endometrium, that breaks down. Some blood, clear, and along with unfertilized egg or ovum that flows out of the vagina, and it is called menstrual flow. So these are the changes which happens in the first 5 days, right? And then next, afterwards 6 to 13 days, what happens? Luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormones gradually increase, right? And estrogen is produced by the ovary. Uterine wall is repaired, means a rupturing of that. Endometrium is there, that will start from 6 to 13 days. Clear? The hormone level increases, estrogen increases, and the uterine wall starts repairing. Then from 14 to 15 days, what is happening? Clear? It is maximum, means luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone is very high and it causes ovulation. Clear? It results in the ovulation. egg is released at this stage, beta. Estrogen is at the peak, clear, maximum 14 to 15 days. Endometrium lining is growing. Again, endometrium start forming, clear. Then 16 to 26 days. Again, now the graph of the hormones LH and FSH start decreasing. Corpus luteum secrete progesterone, clear. Now, what is corpus luteum? When ovulation is there, afterwards the cells or the outer tissue left, that is corpus luteum. Now, it starts secreting progesterone. Uterine wall grows and is ready for implantation. Means, if the egg is fertilized, then the uterus wall is formed and now it is ready for fixing that fertilized egg, means implantation. Then, last means next cycle begins day 27 to 29, right? Suppose there is no fertilization of this released egg, clear. The egg which is released, it is not get fertilized, no fertilization, okay. Then corpus luteum degenerate, that is remain, that will automatically degenerate, and progesterone level falls suddenly, वो एकदम से reduce हो जाएगा, and uterine wall breaks and again bleeding starts and the next cycle begins. So this is the menstrual cycle and day wise formation. The first phase, it's 1 to 5 days is called menstruation phase, then 6 to 13 is called follicular phase, and 14 to 15 is called ovulation, and luteal phase is 16 to 26, and then next cycle begins from 27 to 29. So this is all about the menstrual cycle. Now you can see in the diagram also, right? Now firstly you can see that estrogen hormone is increasing, so 14 to 15 days it is maximum. Similarly, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, you can find it is maximum 14 to 15 days, and there is a ovulation. After that, whatever outer surface is left, that is corpus luteum, clear. Then estrogen level is increasing, clear. If it is not fertilized, then degenerated, and same way you can find endometrium is also increasing, okay, and 14 to 15 it is ready for implantation. So this is all about the menstruation, beta. I think you understand. Thanks and have a nice day.